Um, Sorry for the delayed show today. Had some stuff to take care of this morning, but we are here, 11:30 a.m. And we're coming off of a 1-2 day yesterday. We hit the Mariners plus 125 versus the Astros and lost on the White Sox and the Brewers. So down 0.75 units. But that's all right. We can make that back this week. We got a couple days of games that we can make that up. So I'm not too worried about it. First losing day in over a week. So overall, in the grand scheme of things, not that big of an issue. But we can get right into it. I will say it'll probably be a pretty short show. Once again, I didn't like the slate too much. I'm starting to think that the lines are starting to get where they probably should be. But nonetheless, we do have a couple of plays today. We can start with the Red Sox at minus 110. I've actually seen them as a little bit bigger of an underdog than this, but obviously shop around as always for the best price that you can get. But yeah, the Red Sox versus the Orioles. Nick Pavetta's pitching for the Red Sox. He doesn't have enough innings to be qualified in any stats, but I should say that in the innings he has pitched, it hasn't been great by any means. I think he let up 5 or 6 runs in only like 2/3 of an inning his last time out, which obviously skews his numbers a little bit. But even other than that, I think he's let up at least 2 runs in each of his outings, not going like 5 or 6 innings. But he's going up against Keegan Atkin, who is 1-1 on the year with a 3.38 ERA and 1.23 WHIP. The whole thing with Pivetta, I don't know how much to put into the starting pitching. I would say the edge probably does go to the Orioles here. But my assumption would be that Pivetta only goes a couple of innings and then largely rely on the bullpen. And once I show these bullpen stats, you might wonder, why am I going with the Red Sox? Because they do rank 23rd in ERA, 20th in batting average against, and 23rd in WHIP, while on the other side, the Orioles, while not much better, do have a little bit better numbers. They rank 18th in ERA, 16th in batting average against, and 16th in WHIP. And this is obviously in the last 2 weeks. The numbers for the last 2 weeks. It's the trend I use. But yeah, I would say also probably an advantage there for the Orioles. But where I really like this matchup is at the plate. And I know it's weird that I'm picking batting over pitching because I never do. But I kind of like it here in this spot. I don't really know why. The Red Sox, last 2 weeks, 4th in batting average, 11th in on-base percentage, and 6th in slugging. While the Orioles rank 22nd in batting average. That should say 25th in on-base percentage. My apologies. And 23rd in slugging. So you see the slight disadvantage in numbers across the board except for batting. But one thing I will say is for the bullpen, wins above replacement, Red Sox do rank 11th while the Orioles are 17th. So I know the numbers aren't there, but wins above replacement does actually give the advantage to the Red Sox. So you can take that as you will. But Red Sox minus 110, I've seen them as low as even money. So definitely something to look into there. That's my first pick of the day. And we can go into the next one, which is the Mets at plus 120 versus the Rays. Seth Lugo pitching for the Mets, 2-3 on the year with a 4.34 ERA and 1.31 WHIP, while Blake Snell is on the mound for Tampa, who he's 4-1 this year with a 3.05 ERA and 1.15 WHIP. The numbers definitely favor Snell a little bit. Lugo hasn't been bad by any means of the word, but Blake Snell's probably been a little bit better. But the one thing about Snell is that he hasn't even gone 6 innings this year. I don't think this will be any exception. They just seem to have him on a sort of a pitch count, not letting him go deep into games. So I don't put too much on Blake Snell being the pitcher in this matchup. You can go into the bullpen, where once again I am going against the pitching, and who knows why. But the Mets rank 23rd in ERA, 19th batting average against, 24th in WHIP, while the Rays are last 2 weeks 6th in ERA, 10th in batting average against, and number 2 in WHIP. So the Rays also have had a very good bullpen recently. So That's that. Definitely a pitching advantage for the Rays, but once again, I'm going with batting in the trend of today. Uh, Mets last 2 weeks, one of the best hitting teams in baseball, ranked third in batting average, fifth in on base percentage, and sixth in slugging, while the Rays are middle of the pack towards the bottom, ranking 20th in batting average, 17th in on base percentage, and 15th in slugging. So, like I said, Snell might be a little bit better, but the Mets batting has been pretty good. You could say one of the best in the league, actually. And I'm going to take that to overcome the bullpen disadvantage. Mets plus 120 is my play here. And one final pick, and we also have a lean. Final pick is a little look ahead to the weekend. This is the Sunday night game. Packers plus 160 versus the Saints. I like this one. You could call it recency bias, having just watched the Saints lose. But either way, these are two of the top teams in the NFC going at it. And and I like the underdog to take this one. If you look at the numbers, Rodgers has 600 yards and 6 touchdowns this year. Aaron Jones is having a great year. He has 234 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, as well as some receiving stats to go along with it. And obviously, the number one option, Devontae Adams, 17 catches, 192 yards, and 2 touchdowns this year. It's just a really good offense, high-powered. Even Allen Lazard, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, a bunch of guys getting touches there and making the most of them. Just a good offense. And meanwhile, the Saints defense has looked pretty shaky, in my opinion. They allowed 23 points to the complete new look Bucs offense. It was their first time playing together, still able to muster up 23 points. And then, obviously, last night, 34 points to the Raiders, and let Derek Carr, of all people, go for 282 yards and 3 touchdowns. And obviously, looking at the Saints offense, I think it looked a little worse without Michael Thomas. Seemed to not have a go-to guy. Had to rely heavily on Alvin Kamara, obviously. And that's a good man to be able to lean on. But having seen a full game, I think that's something that you can game plan against to stop the running back coming out of the backfield. Obviously, guys like Christian McCaffrey would say maybe not. But I like the Packers to be able to do it. I think they have an underrated defense. And also, it's the Sunday night game. It's Aaron Rodgers in prime time, tends to have good games. So with all things considered, I'm going to roll with the Pack at plus 160. I would say I do think it'll probably be a relatively high-scoring game. I wouldn't really call it a shootout, but definitely think the Packers have the offense to put up enough points to overcome whatever defense they might get on that night. And I said I was going to have one lean here, and we do. It's actually not even really a lean. It's just a parlay. It's a Dodgers-Yankees moneyline parlay, 2 big favorites. You can pair them together and get plus 115. I think it's pretty good. The Yankees got Garrett Cole on the mound, going up against Tanner Roark, I believe. And also, the Yankees have been one of the better hitting teams in baseball, if not the best recently. So we're rolling with them. And then Dodgers, I believe it's Dustin May on the mound, and also have hitting trends pointing in their favor, as well as bullpen. Won't go too much into it, as it is 2 pretty sizable favorites. But I don't know. I like this here. I think plus 115 is a pretty good value. So those are 4 plays for the day. Well, actually, one's this weekend. But I'll just run through it real quick before signing off here. It's the Red Sox at minus 110, the Mets at plus 120, Packers plus 160 this weekend, and then the parlay of the Dodgers and Yankees. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Sorry, it's a little bit of a short show. But as always, good luck with your bets. Hopefully we can get back on track from yesterday. And good luck to everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow, back at the regular time of 11. So be sure to tune in then. And I'll see you guys then. Thanks.